Wuse Market reopens in Abuja days after mob attack, inferno and business disruptions. President Tinubu calls for bipartisan collaborations with governors to build the nation. Inflation rises to 31.70% in February as food price soar. Celebrations after Senegal opposition leader and his candidate freed ahead of presidential election. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news updates. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thanks for joining us. Now, the popular Wuse Market in Abuja has been reopened for business on Friday, 3 days after being shut down. The Public Relations Officer, PRO of the Abuja Market Management Limited, AMML, Innocent Obiechina, confirmed that the market was reopened around 12 p.m. Friday. He said the development was signal to stakeholders' continued engagement that lasted for hours at the office of the FCT Police Commissioner, CP Bennett Igwe. He noted that issues of security and economic reasons were considered before arriving at the decision. The market was sealed by the authorities on Tuesday following a violence triggered by shooting dead of a hawker, allegedly by an operative of the correctional center. National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu and 19 northern governors and service chiefs met in his office behind closed doors on Thursday to review the security situation and possibly prefer solutions. The meeting, which lasted more than 4 hours, started about 1:30 p.m. and ended at about 6 p.m. The chairman, Northern Governors Forum, Governor Inuwa Yahaya of Gombe State, said the meeting was convened to discuss and review strategies towards tackling cases of insecurity in the region. He said the need for a collaborative approach to tackling insecurity in the region necessitated the meeting, stressing that non-kinetic and kinetic approaches are needed to address the remote causes of insecurity. He said the security agencies had done their best, but there was a need for a non-kinetic approach to address the root causes of the problem. The Tinkan Island Command of the Nigerian Customs have intercepted a cache of arms and ammunition allegedly being smuggled into the country by some criminal gang. Among items intercepted are military camouflage and illicit drugs such as Colorado. The arms recovered include automatic single-barrel rifles and pump-action guns. Though details of the interception are still sketchy, reports said the arms were recovered during 100 inspection of consignments imported into the country. President Bola Tinubu has urged state governors to make the transition from politics to governance, set aside political differences, and collaborate with the federal government to build the nation. And the president spoke on Thursday night when breaking of the Ramadan fast with governors at the State House in Abuja. Kennedy Amodu tells us more.
The month of Ramadan is significant for Muslims as it is a period for reflection, prayers, and charity towards others. Once again this year, it coincides with the Lenten season for Christians, and President Tinubu is emphasizing the importance of unity and cooperation among all stakeholders.
Since we recognize the need to build the nation together, the politics aspect of it is over. The time for governance is now.
He's also using this occasion to assure Nigerians that despite the challenges currently being faced, things are gradually turning around.
I'm glad that the headwind pushing us back is almost over. The tunnel is not as dark as when we started. It's getting clearer and it's going to be brighter and brighter. In the name of Allah.
Chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum and Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak commended the federal government for distributing 42,000 tons of grains emphasizing the importance of collaborative efforts between the national and subnational governments in addressing collective challenges. On the payment of wage award to workers, the governor is promising that states will do the right thing.
And 25,000, and some states that are not paying, like Imo State, they're paying 50,000 minimum wage rather than paying a parity. But I can assure you again, Mr. President, it's all hands on the table. We'll make sure we do the right thing. We'll make sure we talk to ourselves. We have to dig deep in this period. We have to all make sure the wet-season farming is something we all engage. I implore every governor to have a personal farm. It is that part of the areas where you know what the challenges of the ordinary farmer is.
Though this occasion was specifically meant for breaking of fast, some important messages have been passed across. From State House Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Now, the Federal Capital Territory Appropriation Bill for the 2024 fiscal year has scaled second reading at the Senate. The bill, which was sponsored by the Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele, seeks to authorize the sum of 1.1 trillion naira from the Federal Capital Territory Administration's Consolidated Revenue Fund. Here's the report.
A breakdown of the 1.1 trillion naira shows that 280 billion naira is for overhead, 726 billion naira for capital projects, and 140 billion naira for personnel, bringing the total budget to 1.147 trillion naira. Leading the debate on general principles of the bill, the Senate leader noted that the appropriation bill took into cognizance the FCT administration's revenue and expenditure forecasts, which are in tandem with fiscal and developmental policies of the federal government.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, emphasis has been placed on the completion of ongoing projects, particularly those with high impact on the provision of services and infrastructure to the residents of the Federal Capital Territory.
During the debate, the Deputy Senate President, Jibrin Barau, said support should be given for the quick passage of the bill.
The minister was here and he wrote out all what he intends to do in terms of the security of lives and properties within the FCT, in terms of infrastructure. In fact, he rolled out issues to do with the innovations he wants to bring to bear.
In his remarks, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, assured that the bill will be expeditiously considered and passed to encourage the FCT minister to advance reforms in the nation's capital.
When I was in the 8th Senate, we used to see some of these bills coming from July, August, September, sometimes in December. So seeing this coming now is very highly commendable. It shows that there is a resolve on the part of the minister to transform the FCT.
The bill has been referred to the Committee on the FCT to report back on the next legislative session.
On political matters, the Bayelsa State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja has fixed April 22nd for the adoption of final addresses on the state governorship election petition. The tribunal also directed parties involved in the matter to file and exchange their processes before the adjourned date. The All Progressives Congress and its candidate, Timmy Silva, approached the tribunal to challenge the outcome of the November 2023 governorship poll, which produced Duoye Diri as the winner of the election. The tribunal, led by Justice Adekunle Adeleye-led three-member tribunal, shuttled the matter for the adoption of addresses after Diri, his deputy, Lawrence, and the People's Democratic Party closed their defense. Over in Lagos, the Federal High Court has vacated its order restraining MTN Nigeria Communications and ATC Nigeria Wireless Infrastructure from building base transceiver stations. Justice Yelim Bogoro set aside the order, which the court granted for incorporated trustees of Header Resource Center on November 21. Header in suit listed Federal Ministry of Environment and Ecological Management, MTN, ATC and others as defendants. The plaintiff had filed an exploratory application averring ATC proposed to build 2,500 base stations, but that the stations were in proximity to those belonging to IHS Towers, Nigeria. On economic matters, as Nigeria grapples with the prevailing economic hardship, residents of Lagos are voicing growing discontent over the soaring cost of food items. Now, this, according to them, has strained household budgets, especially as Muslim faithful observe the holy month of Ramadan.
The cost of staples such as rice, beans, garri, pepper, as well as cooking oil has skyrocketed, making it increasingly difficult for families to put meals on the table. A cross-section of residents in Agege area of Lagos State who spoke with Trust TV lamented the hardship in the land, noting that the situation is becoming unbearable as they are unable to provide for their families.
I buy it 50,000. I take 300,000 selling pepper now. I'm not getting 10,000 naira. I'm not okay at all. Even though people ask you for market, how much for this groundnut oil? This groundnut oil, we are selling it 500 before. Now it's 1,600.
The resident lamented that the situation is worsened by the daily hike in the cost of goods and food items. They noted that this has made it almost impossible to work on a budget.
Because here in Nigeria, we are facing a lot of challenges in terms of buying things. There are some things that you buy in the last 2 months that will be like 100 naira. In this month, it will be like 500 naira because of the changes of the currency and a lot of things. But people said it is dollar. And now dollar has decreased from 1,900 to 1,500 now. And see, the things are even going higher. So
I'm coming from market now. I hold 5,000 naira. My 5,000 naira is very, very useless. Because what I want to buy with 5,000 naira, getting to 12,500. I'm coming with hungry. Thank God where you meet me now. Things is very, very, very cost. And I'm hungry, oh. Me as I do. I hold 5,000. For me to buy something, they are not this price, this is that.
While residents call on the government to intervene and stabilize food prices, traders call for an increase in the salary of workers in order to improve their purchasing power.
Still with the economy, Nigeria's headline inflation has risen to 31.70% in February. Now, the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, in its report stated that inflation figure rose from 29.90% in January. The NBS noted on a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 9.79% points higher compared to the rate recorded in February 2023, which was 21.91%. NBS further stated that food inflation rate increased by 37.92% on a year-on-year basis, which was 13.57% points higher compared to the 24.35% recorded in February of 2023. Nigeria's headline inflation has been on the rise consecutively in the past 15 months, despite the raise of interest rate by the Central Bank of Nigeria. This is the news update on Trust TV. Up ahead. Business owners in Benue bemoan the high circulation of mutilated notes on their operations. More when we return. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. And if you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. Now, a recap of our top stories. Wuse Market reopens in Abuja days after mob attack, inferno and business disruptions. President Tinubu calls for bipartisan collaborations with governors to build the nation. To more news. The Nigerian Communications Commission has confirmed that several African internet service providers faced outages due to submarine cable cuts, with cable operators actively engaged in efforts to restore connectivity. Now, despite the setbacks, the NCC assured the public that cable operators have initiated repair efforts, with services gradually being restored. The telecom regulator made this disclosure in a statement signed by the Director, Public Affairs, Ruben Mwaka, on Thursday. The NCC identified affected operators to include West African Cable System and African coast to Europe, along with SAR 3 and Main 1, which experienced downtime. Regulator attributed the disruptions to incidents in Cote d'Ivoire and Senegal, resulting in subsequent disruptions in Portugal. Over in Makurdi, business operators have expressed dissatisfaction with the impact of mutilated Naira notes on their operations. Speaking with Trust TV's Jimmy Azande, the operators lamented that the Naira notes, especially the 200 and 100 denominations, have been negatively affecting their businesses, as most customers are rejecting them for being mutilated.
According to business operators, those most affected are traders who travel to the villages to buy or sell. They say the villagers outrightly reject some of the notes which are issued from the bank.
We dey suffer about the bad money because as they come buy market for us, we as a business person, we no go fit put that money well until when we sell the market finish before we arrange am. Before we arranging this bad money, some dem go tear. We no go fit carry am go bush market where we buy because those bush market they no have bank.
This bad currency, the issue is going too much. See, there is one time where one old woman can give me 200 naira, say I beg my pikin, this 200 naira too bad for me, I no fit use them. Now I have mercy with the woman, can't give am the 200 naira way good. So for me to use the bad currency, that 200 naira, I no fit use them.
Motorcycle operators who are also affected, however, say they use them at gas stations when purchasing petrol.
Especially in the village, people they will not collect. But we Okada rider, people can feel it and give to us. When we stretch it, the money will not go. So they will tell us that you will use the money and go and buy food. So when we take it to the station, they used to collect it. But when you collect and give to someone, they will not collect.
Difficult. But most of our customers too, they are understandable these days. Because most of the times they are the one who brings the money to us. Knowing fully well that everybody complains about the level or the way the money looks like now. No matter how dirty we collect them. Because most of the time they tell us to go and buy food.
Important thing, naira of 100 naira, we have to arrange 100 naira because I don't know whether in central bank they don't have 100 naira again in central bank. It's all currency. We are seeing 100 naira outside. Everyone that you see 100 naira, we give somebody, we refuse that I will never collect this money because of the 100 naira is too bad.
They are hopeful that the government will do something urgently to avert this situation.
And when you want to the bank to withdraw the money, they cannot give up 100. Sometimes the 200 too is very hard in the bank to give us the money. But right now, this 100 naira is so scattered. It's not well arranged. When I give customers, sometimes customers say, they will not take this money. Maybe if they give the money to others now, others will not be able to take. Even right now, I gave one woman 100 naira now. She said when she go to the market to buy something now, they do not take the money, they will bring it back.
These mutilated notes, they say, sometimes lead to poor patronage for small businesses that depend on cash transactions in smaller denominations. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
Now, the Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, has said the Port Harcourt refinery will commence operations in about 2 weeks. According to Kyari, mechanical works have been completed on the Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna refineries, stressing that the Kaduna refinery will commence operations in December. Kyari made this known after he appeared before Senate Ad Hoc Committee investigating the various turnaround maintenance projects of the country's refineries. NNPC GMD also told the lawmakers that over 450,000 barrels of oil had been stocked into the Port Harcourt refinery. The chairman of the Senate Ad Hoc panel, Senator Ifeanyi, said the country would want to know that progress has been made on the rehabilitation of the refineries. He said members of the committee would visit all the refineries to ascertain the progress of work there so that a comprehensive report will be presented to the Senate in plenary soonest. Away from Nigeria, in Senegal, supporters of the top opposition leader Ousmane Sonko took to the streets of Dakar early Friday following his release from jail late Thursday ahead of the presidential election later this month. Sonko is widely seen as the main challenger to President Macky Sall's ruling party. Sonko had been in prison since July and has fought a prolonged legal battle to run for president in the March 24 election. Sonko's lawyer, Bama Sise, said his client and his key ally, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, were both set free.
I've never had such good news. It's a very good thing for me and for the people of Senegal. Everyone is happy. It's a very good thing at this time. I'm very happy because I feel that Senegal has been completely liberated. When Ousmane Sonko is released, when Diomaye is released, that's the liberation of Senegal. And we're also waiting for all the political prisoners to be released so that we can go out and campaign and win the elections in the first round.
In a sad turn of events, at least 8 migrants drowned after a boat carrying them capsized off the Turkish coast in the Aegean Sea. A local governor's office said 2 people were rescued by the Turkish Coast Guard and another 2 managed to make it out of the water on their own. The boat capsized off Turkey's largest island called Imbros, which is located off the coast of the northwestern province of Kanakkale. Officials said the search and rescue operation are underway. Turkey is hosting nearly 4 million refugees, mostly Syrians. In sports, Nigerian women's team has won the bronze medal in the beach volleyball event at the ongoing 13th All-African Games in Ghana. Nigeria beat Rwanda 2-0 in the women's third-place match played at the Labadi Beach Resort on Thursday. The duo of Estamba and Pamela Bauer gave the Rwandan players tough time from the blast of the whistle. And elated Mba said winning the bronze medal at the African Games was a dream come true. And on a sad note, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde on Thursday announced the passage onto glory of the 42nd Olubadan of Ibadan land, His Imperial Majesty Oba Mohu-Lekan Balogun Ali Okumandi II. The governor made this announcement in a statement on Thursday night, stating that Olubadan Balogun joined his ancestors late Thursday evening at the University College Hospital, Ibadan. Governor Makinde described Oba Balogun as an epitome of royal excellence and a great achiever who made great marks on Ibadan land in just a little over 2 years of his reign. He expressed his condolences to the Olubadan Council, the Oyo State Traditional Council, and the people of Ibadan land and Oyo State, praying to God to grant repose to the soul of the deceased monarch. And with that, we've come to the end of the news at this time. For more news, programs and documentaries, please do also follow us on all our social media platforms. I am Chiamaka Nwafor, member of the news team. Thank you so much for watching.